So we put the coffee cherry up at the top. This is a Panagos DH2 pulper. It's a small pulper, and it can be done with a hand crank, which is how I used to do it when I first started, or hooked up to a quarter-horse motor, like this Dayton that I hooked it up to. When I turn it on, this giant kind of cheese grater wheel is going to snag the coffee cherry skin on the underside, push it against a plate of metal, and separate the skin from the seeds, the coffee seeds. The coffee seeds are going to go into the cooling or the fermentation bucket, and the skins will drop into the waste bucket below. This is going to be a fairly fast process because there's not a whole lot of coffee. We're just doing this as an example of pulping. You need to keep the skins lubricated, so I spray it periodically with water to keep the machine going. So let's give it a whirl. Basically what happens at this stage when I don't have more to put in is I'm kind of doing cleanup, and I've got to run the machine forward and back a little bit because the amount of seeds that are stuck in there right now just don't go. Are we rolling? Just don't go. They won't go through. They just kind of hang there. I mean, I could run the machine forever and they won't go through. So at this point, I dial it back just a tiny bit, kind of manipulate it a little bit to get the rest of the ones through.
So I'm assuming we also make sure that our hands are not in it when it's running.
I have actually had a raincoat get caught in this thing and start spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and I didn't realize until I had a big hole right here of melted plastic.
Oh, but that didn't make you happy?
No, it's a little bit like the old skit on TV where they've got the guy with the tie going through the shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting. A little scary. All been put into a cooler. You can see that some are already floating. means that there's something wrong. You can float the coffee cherries before you pulp them. You can float them after you've pulped them like I did, like I'm doing. You can do both, which some people do. Uses a lot more water. The important thing about pulling out your floaters, a lot of larger coffee companies just don't have the ability to do it. There's something going on that's gone wrong, basically, in a floating seed. There's a reason there's an air gap in there that's causing it to float. It's either that a bug has gotten inside the seed, or the seed didn't fully develop, but for some reason or another, it didn't fill out fully, because the heavy ones, the full ones, sink, and these tend to come to the surface. You're going to end up having a lesser quality cup using these floaters. So I do this, and you can see the water's pretty murky. I'm going to empty the water out and just rinse the beans one more time, and then I let them ferment without any water. And I know everybody does it a little different in terms of their fermentation, but given where we are and the cool temperatures at night up at my farm, if I were to add a bunch of water to the process, it'll take so much longer for them to ferment that I think that it actually adds negative flavors and characteristics to the coffee. So I empty as much of the water out as possible and just allow the coffee pectin and the moistness of that to do the fermentation.
And there's the cherry holes.